There is a certain portion of the AEW fan base that does not like to hear any sort of criticism whatsoever in regards to All Elite Wrestling. And this again happened on Wednesday night after AEW Blood Guts, where Corey Graves went on social media and exclaimed that chair shots or blows to the head should be taken very, very seriously. Now, this is in regards to what Mark Briscoe did to Jack Perry towards the end of AEW Blood and Guts on Wednesday night, where he took what was a gimmicked chair, supposedly, and smashed it over the head of Jack Perry. AEW fans took to social media and Corey Graves to let him have a piece of their mind in a now deleted tweet. We will go over what that tweet was and why Corey Graves was 100% correct in what he stated. Also, Triple H was asked about Brock Lesnar. Is he coming back to WWE television? What was Triple H's response to the status of Brock Lesnar? And Pat McAfee is the color commentator alongside Michael Cole on Monday Night Raw. He will be out the rest of the year. What is WWE's commentator situation looking like for the rest of 2024? All this and so much more right here on OTS. We'll start with that. Pat McAfee, he is going on a little bit of a hiatus from WWE television, about to take time off just like he did last year for college football. McAfee joined ESPN College Game Day in September of 2022, which led to his hiatus from WWE due to his travel schedule. Before that, he had been the SmackDown commentator with Michael Cole. The original idea that he was supposed to return after college football season, but with his daily radio show, ESPN commitments, and becoming a father, he had to dial back his WWE duties. He appeared at the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania 39, in addition to doing a segment on SmackDown featuring The Rock and Austin Theory. McAfee returned to the booth earlier this year on Raw, where he's been paired with Michael Cole once again. Earlier this week, McAfee announced he would return to ESPN's College Game Day every Saturday during the football season. The show kicks off on August 24th. In the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer noted that while it's not confirmed, it would be expected that McAfee will take time off again during WWE Monday Night Raw during the football season. It should be noted that this is just speculation until McAfee or WWE announces that he takes another hiatus. Now, McAfee, last year he had a lot going on. This year, obviously, he still has a lot going on. You add that his wife gave birth last year and he wanted to be home with her and his new child. I mean, that just throws a whole new wrinkle into the existing, plans that he had going on, the busyness that he had going on. McAfee is going to be on Saturdays during the college football season. Obviously, he still has his radio show. It may come down to what he ultimately wants to do. He may say, you know what, I'm going to do college football, and I will be on Monday with Michael Cole doing Monday Night Raw. It could be that situation, or it could be a situation where he takes the entire season off, comes back around WrestleMania season like he did this year, and Joe Tessitore, WWE just hired ESPN's Joe Tessitore as the new play-by-play, supposedly, for SmackDown. Michael Cole will remain on Monday Night Raw. This is my prediction. Michael Cole will remain on Monday Night Raw. They're moving to Netflix. They want their A team. That's going to be the A show. I could see Michael Cole and Corey Graves going to Monday Night Raw alongside Pat McAfee when he returns. I could see for the 3-hour show, a 3-man booth. And then on the Friday night show, SmackDown, I could see Wade Barrett sitting alongside Joe Tessitore. Or they could do Corey Graves and Joe Tessitore, because Corey Graves is a little bit more seasoned than Wade Barrett as a commentator. They could sit him alongside Joe Tessitore so that he learns the ropes through Corey Graves, and then Wade Barrett moves to Monday Night Raw to sit alongside Pat McAfee and Michael Cole. But I think WWE is probably going to align their A commentators, which is Michael Cole, Pat McAfee, and Corey Graves, next to each other on Monday night, and that's going to be the team on Monday. Netflix, the A show, they want it to be as big as possible, and then Joe Tessitore takes the leads on Friday night on SmackDown when they move to USA, and he sits alongside Wade Barrett. That's my prediction. but it's going to be all up to Pat McAfee right now. It's all hearsay. Dave Meltzer really, has gotten a lot wrong this year, so that's what his line of thinking is. But it could ultimately come down to Pat McAfee, and he says, you know what? I want to stay during the college football season on Monday. I don't want to miss my Monday night commitments, and he's going to do both. So we have to wait and see what he officially says, but that is the logic. That is the thinking right now with Pat McAfee supposedly taking time off from WWE. Triple H, he was recently asked about Brock Lesnar and if he's coming back to television. He says he would be open to having a conversation with Brock Lesnar if and when he'd like to do something. Very, very low-key political answer there for Triple H. Although Brock Lesnar is not likely to appear on WWE television anytime soon, that doesn't mean it hasn't been ruled out in the future. WWE has distanced themselves from Lesnar due to the sex trafficking lawsuit with Janelle Grant against John Laurinaitis, Vince McMahon, and WWE. A former WWE UFC heavyweight champion was named in the filing. The same day that the suit became public, the Wall Street Journal identified Lesnar as that former champion. Once this came out, WWE dropped Lesnar from all its plans. He was supposed to be in the Royal Rumble. That got axed. He was supposed to wrestle Gunther at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship. That got axed. And he was supposed to be at the Elimination Chamber doing something. God knows what that was. It got axed. It was previously reported that WWE's legal team hasn't cleared Lesnar, and until that happens, he will not be back. That was back in May. The lawsuit has been on hold for several months now while the feds continue investigating the allegations made by Grant and other women against Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis. So right now, the feds told Janelle Grant, hold off on what you got going on. We got something potentially a lot bigger than what you got going on, and you guys can pick that up at a later date. While speaking to the Daily Mail, Triple H was in London. Triple H and Nick Khan are talking to Sadiq Khan, the mayor of London, about bringing WrestleMania over there, possibly in 2026. He spoke to the Daily Mail and was asked about Lesnar's status. He said, you'd have to ask Brock Lesnar that. Brock kind of does his own thing. He's up in Canada, I'm sure, watching his kids play hockey and enjoying life. If and when he decides he would like to do something, we'd be open to the conversation. We will see. End quote. So that is all that you're going to get out of Triple H in regards to Brock Lesnar. He does not want to address these types of questions or regarding anybody that's involved in the lawsuit. He's going to keep it quick. He's going to keep it brief, and he's going to keep it very political. So Brock Lesnar, do I see him back on WWE television? I do. Do I want him? No, I don't. I don't really care about Lesnar's involvement with the current WWE administration. The only thing that I would love to see Brock Lesnar do in WWE is that match with Gunther. The only other thing besides that I'd love to see him do is put over Braun Breaker, and that's about it. I don't think there really is anything left for Brock Lesnar to do. We've seen it all. We've been through it all. He's done it all. He's won everything that there possibly could be won in WWE. I think WWE, after potentially this shit gets cleared, Lesnar comes back for a match or two. I think that's it for Brock Lesnar in WWE. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I don't really care about Lesnar back on WWE TV. I'd like to wash my fandom, my hands clean of Brock Lesnar. I'd like WWE to just move on into the future, continuing to build new talent, feature new stars, and hone in on the future of the company. Lesnar is not that. Does Lesnar still obviously bring value to the company if and when he comes back to television? Absolutely. But I don't think anybody out there is clamoring to see Brock Lesnar on WWE television anytime soon. Corey Graves, Blood and Guts, Wednesday night. Very, very good match. I thought AEW did tremendous, building all in. A lot of story came out of that match. Do I think Blood and Guts needed to happen this year? No, not really. I don't really get a sense of urgency from the AEW and the Elite storyline. I don't really get a sense that the company's going under because of what the Elite are doing on television. I don't see the company being threatened in any way. But Blood and Guts normally is a feud that blows off, or match rather, that blows off a feud. In this case, this year, it was used to enhance a feud and build towards All In, because a lot came out of that match that you will probably see take place at All In. There was a moment in the match towards the end before Jack Perry and the Elite quit and gave up to Team AEW. Jack Perry was handcuffed, both hands handcuffed to the Blood and Guts cage. Mark Briscoe poured gasoline, Darby Allin rather, poured gasoline all over Jack Perry. Before that, Mark Briscoe took a chair and blasted Jack Perry over the head with it, and it was a vicious chair shot. Very, very loud, and it looked like it fucking sucked. This was the cause of much debate on social media the night of and going into Thursday morning. WWE Corey Graves issued a timely public service announcement following July 24th edition of AEW Dynamite Blood and Guts, where Jack Perry took an unprotected chair shot to the head. In a now deleted post on X, Corey Graves says this: "This is not meant to sound judgmental or incite us versus them, or question anybody's passion or talent about intentions. This is just coming from a guy whose career ended from a few too many accidental headshots. The art of this business is protecting ourselves and each other. Trust me, the gaps in memory are not worth it. I promise." End quote. Now, Graves and his post came an hour after AEW Dynamite ended. The show's main event, a Blood and Guts match featuring the Elite versus Team AEW. Near the end of this War Games-like match for AEW, Perry was handcuffed to the cage when he took this headshot from Mark Briscoe. Following the match, many questioned the chair shot given the seriousness of concussions and their long-term effects on the brain. Some defended the spot, suggesting Briscoe used a gimmicked chair. I'll get to that in a second. Which Brian Alvarez confirmed on the Wrestling Observer Radio that it was indeed gimmicked. He says, "Well, I can tell you this. It was one of those shaved down chairs. I don't know how shaved down it was. I don't know how soft it was, but it was a gimmicked chair. But still, they waffled the dude with that chair." End quote. Now, in 2029, Cody Rhodes took what was thought to be AEW's first and last unprotected chair shot at Fyter Fest. The incident led to significant controversy despite the use of a gimmicked chair. Cody Rhodes' head was badly cut, requiring staples. According to AEW owner Tony Khan, who called the spot regrettable and chalked the incident up to pilot error, Rhodes did not suffer any ramifications from the chair shot, nor did he suffer any concussions. After the incident, AEW reportedly ceased using unprotected chair shots, and in 2023, AEW included unprotected chair shots to the head on their list of banned moves, which is very weird because someone's getting dropped on their fucking head every single week, whether it's a tombstone, tombstones off the top, pile drivers, variations of different pile drivers, people dropping people on the apron. I mean, there's someone that is getting dropped on their head every fucking week on AEW television. So no matter if it's a chair shot, they still try and cut corners to drop people on their head because it's pro wrestling. I don't really understand that. So regardless of whether the chair was used during Blood and Guts, whether it was gimmicked, the unprotected chair shot seemingly violated AEW's safety protocol. So they broke their own rule. Unprotected chair shots to the head gained popularity in the 1990s with the rise of ECW. However, this changed in 2007 after it was revealed that WWE superstar Chris Benoit, which you guys know his story, suffered severe brain damage similar to Alzheimer's. His tragedy, alongside others, increasing awareness of chronic traumatic CTE. From Dr. Bennett in 2005, study on concussions led to WWE to ban all chair shots to the head. Consequently, the other promotions also adopted similar safety measures. Graves' plea to fellow wrestlers stems from his experience with concussions. He retired in 2014 due to frequent concussions accumulated over a decade. Although cleared to return in 2022, Graves has not resumed wrestling except for comedic moments during WWE's 24/7 championship phase. Graves' words also echo sentiments from Bret Hart and Hulk Hogan this year. Hart stated in February, "Anytime anyone does things to you for real, they're in the wrong business. They're doing it wrong." Recently, Hogan spoke about the art of pro wrestling after questioning an unfortunate cage dive by Adam Copeland saying the goal is to make it look like you're tearing someone's head off without actually hurting them. Whether AEW achieved this goal in Blood and Guts with Jack Perry remains to be seen. Now, I know a lot of the elitists out there, they don't like when AEW is criticized, especially if it's coming from someone who's a fan of WWE, worst case, someone who works in WWE. Corey Graves said in his tweet, it's not about an us versus them mentality. He's just explaining to everybody what he went through, a little bit of what he went through, why no one should have to go through what he went through. He's been through it, and it's just a word of warning. Don't do and make the same mistakes that we made in the past. I don't want to see any of my colleagues suffer the consequences of something so unnecessary. That's all he tried to relay out to the AEW fans, and they immediately attacked him. I'm assuming they attacked him because he wouldn't have deleted the tweet if it didn't stir up controversy in the IWC on social media. I don't really understand why everybody was using the excuse of, oh, it was a gimmicked chair. Everybody, before I even heard Alvarez say anything about a gimmicked chair, they shaved the chair down. People were in every thread that I saw. It was a gimmick chair. Oh, it was a prop chair. I don't give a fuck if it was a prop chair. I don't give a shit if it was a steel chair, an aluminum chair, a tin chair, a plastic chair, a fucking Fisher-Price chair. I don't give a fuck what type of chair it was. No matter how you look at it or what type of material the chair is, Mark Briscoe swung the chair as if he was about to fucking murder Jack Perry. So no matter what material the chair is made out of, Mark Briscoe swinging a chair with whatever material it was made out of, the way that he did, still connected on Jack Perry's head in a manner in which it will hurt. And it will give Jack Perry problems down the road, no matter what. The force in which he swung the chair is a fucking problem. And it was an unprotected chair shot no matter how you look at it. This is a problem within AEW. AEW always seems to try and cut corners in regards to their talent and what they can do and what they can't do in the ring. Every single week there's a fucking injury. No matter if it's a chair shot, people getting dropped on their head, or something so fundamental, people are getting injured. Why are you blatantly wanting to injure people on top of the accidental injuries that are occurring on your show weekly? Sky Blue just got hurt on AEW Collision, taking a fucking routine dive from Hikaru Shida. And she twisted her ankle or broke her ankle. We don't know the diagnosis of her ankle yet. Out. Injured. Riho broke her wrist. Adam Copeland. I mean, I went into this in great detail on TNT with Solomonster. I mean, a waste of a spot at 50 years old. Someone like that doesn't need to be doing that. You saw him abandon ship mid-jump and say to himself without saying it to us, man, I fucked up. You knew something was going to go wrong there. Why are these risks being taken on AEW television, and why isn't anyone stepping in to say no? It's in their fucking guidelines. They broke their own protocol. Does nobody see this? Does Tony Khan not see this? How does this get through quality control? I don't really understand that. And then the fucking geeks on social media, they take Corey Graves' words of caution and concern as him attacking, and in the first fucking sentence, automatically said this is not a me versus us or us versus them, mentality. I don't really understand the portion of the AEW fan base that just cannot handle any sort of criticism. It's almost as if the company can do no wrong when blatantly they do wrong. No matter how you look at it, no matter what the fucking chair was like, no matter what material it was made out of, it shouldn't have been a situation that happened. And a lot of the AEW fan base are now referring to Cody Rhodes. This is something that I had to personally deal with. I'm sure it's also being talked about in other threads on social media. Cody Rhodes, in, I believe it was the second match with AJ Styles for the WWE Championship in their feud earlier this year, threw a chair at AJ Styles, unprotected chair shot, and they are now referencing that in regards to this. Well, if Jack Perry took a chair shot, how come we're not talking about Cody Rhodes throwing the chair at AJ Styles unprotected at the head? It's not the same situation. It's not the same situation at all. Cody Rhodes did not fling the chair in the same intensity and in the same manner that Mark Briscoe swung his chair at Jack Perry. Secondly, WWE monitors everything. They're not going to allow something like that to happen on WWE television without some sort of approval. AEW, we've known this for many, many, many months. Nothing gets approved. They are free for all. They do what the fuck they want. Tony Khan gives everybody free reign to do whatever they want. Shit like this always slips by quality control. Something like that is not going to slip by quality control in WWE. Also, do you expect Cody Rhodes to break WWE protocol on something so fucking serious that they have not allowed anybody to do since they banned it in 2007? I don't really understand why you would think Cody Rhodes would take that upon himself to willingly break WWE's cardinal sin, cardinal rule of chair shots to the head. Every single time you see a chair shot in WWE comes off awkward because someone's waiting with their back exposed, and that's the only time they do it. Across the chest, across the back, across the arm, on the legs, that's it. You never see WWE swing a chair at someone's head. But in this case, it was blatantly right out in the open. Oh, it's a gimmick chair. I don't give a fuck what type of chair it was. I don't give a fuck if it's an imaginary chair. The motion of that chair or you swinging something at someone's head should not be allowed on television. It shouldn't. And stop dropping people on their fucking head. Every single week, it's a fucking problem. The AEW fans are mental. I'm not saying all of their fan base are mental, but the fans on social media that can't handle criticism, the fucking Reddit virgins, they can't handle any sort of criticism. You would think with someone who's been through it, with someone who's experienced the symptoms of concussions, someone whose career was ended due to something like this, you'd think he'd have free reign to talk about it. You'd think he'd have liberty to express what he went through. You'd think that you'd want to hear from someone within the industry that's been through this to give caution to his peers and colleagues, no matter what promotion that they're working for. You would think his words would be taken seriously. Instead, his words got shit on. Every single week, pro wrestling fans continue to embarrass themselves on social media, and this is one of the primary reasons why the people within the industry hate fans like us, like podcasters like us. They hate us because we act animalistic and we make things out to be so fucking terrible, and it's this us versus them mentality. How about we just enjoy all pro wrestling, and how about we just care about every one of these performers that goes out there willingly every single night to fucking risk their lives for us? You don't think he has any justifiable case to talk about this with anybody he wants that works within the industry? How many times have WWE and AEW locker rooms say, hey man, we got friends in both locker rooms. It's not that serious. It's crazy. The state of social media in the IWC is fucking mental, man. You guys are mental. I really don't understand how these people just go about their days and make this the most important thing in their life, man. This us versus them mentality makes me fucking sick. To a point now where Corey Graves, who ended his career due to concussions, is not able to talk about anything that happens over there in regards to something that he had to retire from. It's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. But it's not going to end, and it's only going to get worse. Thank you guys for all your support. I will have more news this weekend right here on Off the Script. Thank you guys very much for all the support this week. It was much needed after a very, very bad week. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Make sure you guys go check out all the other content on the channel. And please hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 1,000 likes right here on OTS. With more news coming this weekend, I will see you guys right back here with more OTS. I'll see you guys later.